Hi everyone, I am Tanvi Gupta, a first year student at Masters Union, now going to be a second year student. Welcome to one of the most creative and underrated careers of the digital world, UI UX design. So, if you have ever, rage quit an app because of a button that did not work, or fell in love with an app just because it looks so cool, congratulations, you have already started noticing things. So UI UX is about creating intuitive and engaging digital experiences for users. So let's say this Zoom is also created for us as users to have a better and creative experience. So okay, what's the first thing that you notice when you open an app? And I want good discussions here. We have very less folks here, so that's okay. Let's just keep it very engaging. So, anything that you notice first when you open an app? What do you open the most? I think Instagram it is. Guys, मैं lecture लेने नहीं आई हूँ. I'm not here to take a lecture. Can we have all the cameras on? Maybe the interface, okay. So you see the interface first. But interface, okay, a very vague term. The entire app is an interface. Any particular thing that you notice, let's say when I open Instagram, the first thing that I notice is the design of putting stories, 24-hour stories. So if I don't watch it in 24 hours, I might miss out on people's life. So I have to open it within 24 hours to know what's going on in low key life. Mein. Anything else? Landing page designs, okay. Oh, wait. Anything you notice on WhatsApp? Why do you use WhatsApp? Snapchat? There are so many apps. Anything. Does anybody use Notion? Okay, that's okay. Convenience. Great point. Okay, so if you had, okay, before that, before these questions, I want you guys to turn on your videos. These are simple rules that are being told to you in every session. Only Kushant has his video on. Thank you, Kushant. Turn your videos on. Raise your hand if you want to speak, or you can engage in the chat box. But I can't, the camera is not responding. Okay, Ane, I think you can rejoin. Just try rejoining. Everybody, please turn on your cameras. I know it's a Saturday, but we can do that. Only Kushant has his camera on right now. It's okay, I want to see faces. Thank you, Shrishti. Hi. Guys, we can have our cameras on. I don't think if me as a person I'm here, I don't like showing my face. If I'm also here, we all can be here. We won't have fun in this session. I have a very interactive game planned for you, and we need cameras on for that. Okay, I'm hoping in within 5 minutes we will have all the cameras on, and I'll just go back to the question. So, if you had to redesign a school classroom, what would you change? We all have studied in classrooms, right? And we all might find it pretty boring. So, I want you to give me just give one example like, oh, this is how I would want to change my classroom or redesign my classroom. Any classroom, anything. You can unmute. Anything. Let's say I want my classroom to have big windows so that more sunlight can come in. Okay, Anya wants to speak. Yes, Anya.
So basically, in science classrooms, we can have more interactive labs where
Okay.
like we have more high quality equipment and it's more professional.
Okay, but we can also have a proper high desk for us to show those experiments, like a proper high desk.
Yeah,
Okay.
that can also be done.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, Kushant, you can speak.
Yeah, I think digitalizing the classroom and choosing a best color palette for the walls, like best colors which will also season to. eyes, boost the productivity, feel good, have a good vibe.
Okay, yeah, that's nice. We can also have high stool chairs. So every like with every seat there's a stair. So everybody can watch the blackboard. Like colleges, it's like that, right? So we can redesign it in that way. So again, why are we guys thinking about it? Because in an existing project, let's say, there are tons of problems that can be solved. So that's also either fully redesigning something or adding elements in an existing design is what UI UX designing is all about. Okay. So we have a small UI UX design live chat quiz. So I'll just stop sharing my screen. Manpreet, can you? Okay, so the link would be sent in the chat box. Join it. I'll just reshare it. Manpreet, can you please share
Yes,
your
I am presenting. You will just share the link in the chat
yeah,
box.
guys, just join the link. Okay, only 3 people have joined. Okay, this is you have to match. And you will be awarded as per your timings. So simplicity, informative architecture, error prevention, user control, visual hierarchy. Just drag it and match it. um, is everybody? I think everybody has done it, if I'm not wrong.
Ma'am, I'm done.
Cool, perfect. Okay, so the screen disappeared. That's okay. So who came first? I want to know. Can you see the scoreboard? I can't see it. Uh, um, Manpreet, just end the quiz. I think you can just like submit it and end it so we can have the scoreboard. Yeah. Okay. So this is what I'm going to explain in the next slides. यहाँ पे I won't explain. Let's just see who won. Oh, okay. Oh, I think we can't see a winner here. I'm so sorry, guys. That's okay. I think everybody's a winner here. So you all did the quiz, right? Did anybody score 5 out of 5?
Yes, I scored 5 out of 5.
Okay, congratulations, Ane. Anybody else? 4 out of 5? I think Shrishti unmuted. 3 out of 5? Guys, 0 out of 5 आया क्या सबके? Is it like that? I scored 5. Oh, congrats, Shrishti. I scored 60%. Amazing. Okay, so I'll just. So this was a basics as to what we're gonna discuss, what we're gonna see. Because see, again, as much as I try to, tell you what UI UX designing is, I want you guys to visualize it. So the slides are prepared like that. So I think the first one in the quiz that we saw was simplicity, right? So simplicity. So have we ever used Google Keep or Google or Notion? Anything? Any of these softwares that we have used? So if you notice these softwares, they don't scream design. They're not like, oh, please use us. It's simple. They whisper it. How? So good designs doesn't show off. It gets out of your way. So for example, Google, it's simple. It's very simple. There's a search box, there's a logo. That's it. So simplicity allows to minimize complexity by giving interfaces clean. This allows users to focus on the task. So my sole task was to come here and search. That's it. And that's what Google wants me to do. If they would have put 100 pictures on the homepage, I would get confused, right? I would get distracted. So simplicity is the first part. Second is visual hierarchy. So when you open Netflix, you can skip, you can pause, you can rewind, you can mute, you can on subtitles, you can autoplay, you can switch languages. So they don't just let you watch, oh, just watch the show. They give you the remote. This is your remote. Anything you want to do, it's in your hands. You have the power. So visual hierarchy refers to the arrangement of elements on a screen to prioritize their importance and guides. So those elements are present down, the pause button is present in the center. So such, for same example, Amazon, the product titles and prices are prominently displayed, while secondary details like reviews, product descriptions, they are in the lower section, but everything is available for the user. So any feature that you wish every had app, like for the number one feature, or any app, any feature that you like the most when it comes to visual hierarchy? What's your favorite app? Anything. It could be Roblox, BGMI if you guys are gamers. Okay. Guys, if you don't wish to speak, if you don't wish to turn on your video, that's okay. You can put it in the chat box. Or if you want me to just keep on going on, this it won't benefit you. Figma, okay, that's nice. So if nobody knows what Figma is a tool where you can design wireframes for an app or a website. So amazing, Kushant. Okay, let's just go on. User control. So user control emphasizes giving users the ability to navigate, interact, and customize the interface according to their preference. So it provides users with various playback controls such as pause, play, rewind, adjust volume, customize video quality, subtitles, and speed. Okay. So fourth is error prevention. So anytime you guys have filled any form, and then you're filling it, and then one detail you might put a wrong detail, or you might skip that detail. So once you click the submit button, you'll have this red button, the red highlighted part. So that part is to show you that you did an error. So that's also very great UI UX design. So it focuses on designing interfaces that minimize user errors and provide clear guidance and solutions when errors occur. And mostly you'll see it in while filling forms, or while putting any bank or government websites. This is where you'll see the error prevention design. Then the fifth is information architecture. So think about Swiggy. Okay, Swiggy delivers, I think, more. This is just a number. It could be more than 5 crore items. Okay, so yet you still find your biryani in 10 minutes, right? You open Swiggy and you're like, okay, I want to eat biryani. It has over 5 crore products, let's say, but still in 10 minutes you will find your biryani. So that's info architecture working behind the scenes. So outside it's a different story. Behind, they know your preferences, they know what you want, what you need, where you are, and according to that they'll just give you the item that you're looking for. So it is the process of structuring a website or digital products information in a useful format to meet user needs and business objectives. Okay, so these were the 5 UI UX principles that were in the quiz. Now, UI UX design as a career. So UI UX design involves creating intuitive and engaging user interfaces and experiences for digital products. So UI UX designers work closely with multiple stakeholders such as developers, product managers, and they only focus on the final product where it meets the business and the customer's goal. So if, let's say, Zoom was created by some designer, some designing team, let's say, they would have not just thought about me as a host, they would have thought about you as customers, they would have thought about them as the owners, and they would have thought about people who are using it for business. There are multiple business meetings that happen, so it's not just from one perspective. A design is and can be and should be from multiple perspectives. Okay, so you're like, okay, we know what is design, what is UI/UX. Now what are the qualifications that are required? So after completing your 12th, a bachelor's degree in design, be design, fine arts, computer science as well, or related fields, institutions like NID, NIFT, and IITs, they offer specialized courses for UI/UX. Short-term courses and certifications from online platforms and design schools that provide practical skills and knowledge, and proficiency in tools such as Adobe XD, Figma, Sketch, InVision, and Adobe Creative Studio is crucial. So these are the qualifications that are required. Again, you cannot just stop learning any new design, any new app that might come up. You might need to just get handy with it. Okay, now what are the soft skills that are required? First, collaboration, really important. As I mentioned in the Zoom thing, that you need to collaborate with multiple stakeholders. You need to collaborate with the team. You need to collaborate with the people, the customers. You need to collaborate with the business. So there are a lot of collaboration going on. So you need to have, I would say, good communication skills, good presentation skills. Second, patience. It's not going to be like this is your first design and this is the best design. Never like that. Uh, you will be creating, I think, multiple designs till you reach the best design, and then you will also give it for testing, and then you'll find errors, and then you'll just keep on redesigning. So patience is something that plays a crucial role here. Third, attention to detail. That's the most important part. So you open a website and there's a cross button, and then there's a, let's say, a full screen button. The full screen button is always green and the cross button is always red. So these are attention to details. So even if you don't look what's there, you might just, because it's red and you need to close the app, you might just click it. So this is attention to detail. So while designing, you need to be very precise. What details are you using? Fourth, problem solving skills. Obviously, if you will create a design, it is created because there's an existing problem. Zoom was created because people were not able to have meetings online. Instagram was created because people were not able to connect. uh, More apps, let's say, um, Google Calendar was made because people were not able to have a proper schedule. So every app that is created, every design that is created, it's solving a problem. So you just need to look around. There are multiple problems. You can just look around and you'll find something to work on. Fifth, empathy. Now you're like, as a UI UX designer, why would I need empathy? What is empathy? So you have to feel for the user. Let's say if Zoom was created, they would have felt the struggle of not being able to have online meetings. And that's the struggle that they felt, and then they changed, and then they created a design. So you need to be a bit of an of like, I would say, an observer. Okay, and these are just some skills required. Obviously, there are multiple skills, but these are the top 5 skills that are required. Then what is the career trajectory? So starting, you start with your entry level, where you, so here you're mostly assisting your senior designers. You're working on wireframes. What is wireframing? Wireframing is just creating a rough chart or a rough uh, mood board as to how your project would look like. Then user flows, mood board. So, and you'll handle simpler tasks here, and your salary is approx 10 lakhs per annum, and you'll be have 0 to 2 years of experience. Then you have mid level, so 2 to 4 years of experience, and you have a good 18 lakhs per annum salary. So here you will lead small projects. You will conduct usability test and user interviews. You will create mid to high fidelity prototypes. You'll work closely with developers and product managers. And here you might need to also specialize with UI UX fully. Then comes the senior level, which is 4 to 7 years of experience, where your approx salary would be around 30 lakhs per annum. And here you will lead multiple projects, you will mentor your juniors, and you will align design with both user needs and business goals. Fourth, leadership. Here you'll have approx 7+ years of experience, where your approx salary would be around 45 lakhs per annum. You will set design vision, how the entire design would look like, manage design teams and their growth, hire talent. So talent acquisition also plays a major role here, because you need the same mindset people in your team when it comes to creating a design. And then push design culture inside the company. Now, the fifth strategy roles, that is 10+ years of experience, also known as VP of design or chief of design. So your approx salary would be around 1 crore, and you will align design with business strategies. You will drive innovation, you will influence product directions at the highest level, and represent the voice of the user at the executive table. So this is the career trajectory. Okay, so now let's understand UX through the example of an online video sharing platform. So this video sharing platform was originally a video dating platform, and I want you guys to guess it. It was originally started as a video dating platform, but it did not get much good reviews, so it became a video sharing platform. You can unmute, that's fine. Okay. YouTube. Okay, you guys know about it. Yes, it's YouTube. So YouTube originally started as a video dating platform, and then later a video sharing platform. So nothing about YouTube's UI UX design is unintentional or accidental, not even the features that might come around as flawed. So the deliberate design choices have made YouTube the place where people can lose themselves for us. So I will open YouTube, my home page would be customized as per my needs, as per my clicks. YouTube's monitors both positives and negatives. So let's say there were 5 videos, I clicked only 3. I did not click 2 videos. So those 2 videos of me not clicking them would also be recorded by YouTube. Then what was the screen time? When did I skip? At what part per video I did not like it? If I'm only watching 30 seconds video, they will start suggesting me 30 seconds video. So everything, and it's like it is monitoring you. As soon as you open YouTube, the swipes, everything is monitored. So we'll just understand how this UX tactics, is used by YouTube to maximize watch time. So YouTube first understands its user, and I would say there are billion of users using YouTube. So it has data of all of us, and when users watch a video, every single like, comment, share, watch time, drop off, everything is monitored. So the better the content, the longer the binge watch, and the happier YouTube is, because YouTube will earn, right? So more engagement will give you more ads, and then more revenue through those ads for YouTube. Okay, so again, this is something that I told you, personalized homepage. So on the homepage, the selection of videos is a little broad, and the users need to give the first signal, and then accordingly, it will give me videos that I have clicked on, and won't give me videos that I have not clicked on. Then prediction based on what you don't watch. Again, so for instance, if you are browsing cooking videos, you might ignore a creator's 15 minutes video, but go to a 2 minutes video. So now it will start suggesting me only 2 minutes video. And now YouTube has also integrated AI in the background. So for us to just, for them to have more. Okay, notifications to grab user attention. So new uploads, you subscribe to the YouTube channel, get notifications on, and then you will get every video that they are posting, you'll get a notification. So that's just a strategy to, ping notifications and give them direct access to users' attention. So this is just YouTube, and this is something that I think everybody uses YouTube. And this is something that you actually do and watch every single day. It's just that I want you guys to see how it is designed. And this is something that if you take this as a career, would be something that you also would be doing, designing something, some sort of apps like these. Okay, so YouTube recently launched the autoplay feature where you can just lean back and just, let's say I wanted to have a chill vibe and I wanted to play a chill song, and I clicked any song that I clicked. And then after that, I won't need to come forward and then select another song. It would just start playing songs similar to the earlier song. So that's just the autoplay feature. So YouTube focuses on the enhancing user experience, has not only made it a huge entertainment, education, search engine platform, but it's also managed to convince more than 50 million users to pay for a free service. So that's YouTube for us. Okay, so this is an activity that I kept, and I want you guys to at least turn your videos on here. So this is something that we did in our classroom when we had product management UI UX app, and I really liked it. So I just want you guys to have an experience. So we all have traveled, right? We all have traveled, and we all have packed luggages. We all have carried luggages, guys. Yeah, okay. So this activity focuses on redesigning a luggage. Now I want you guys to get a pen and paper. Quickly, just get one pen and paper, draw a luggage, and then think like a designer. And you're not just making a bag here, you're solving a problem. So what I want from all of you is, and everybody who is present here will be presenting. I'm not joking. You just have 5 minutes. Quickly get a pen and paper. Just redesign it. Let's say I want to add uh, a raincoat cover, that if you press a button, a raincoat cover will appear on the luggage. So that's my design. So when you guys are presenting, you need to just tell me who is your user, what problem do they face with the current luggage, and what are the 3 new features that you add, and what would you name it, because names are important. So just 3 new features and the name, and let's just start presenting in 5 minutes. Just get a pen and paper and draw it. Put like, let's say if I want to put a button and a raincoat, I'll just put a button on the bag and I'll put it. So you just design it on pen and paper. That's okay. I hope everybody's doing it because I cannot see anybody. Right now it's 2:27. Let's just start presenting at 2:35. Or yeah, that works. And if it is possible, you guys can turn on your videos so that I can see what you guys are doing. I hope everybody's doing it right. At least a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. Okay. Thank you, Ane. Thank you, Pranav. Thank you, Shrishti. What about UL, Jia, Palak, Monish, Avni? Okay. Thank you, Kushant. Okay, Monish. Okay, Palak, noted. Shrishti, UL, Avni, I'm waiting for your response. My camera isn't working too well, ma'am. That's okay. I just want a thumbs up that you're doing the activity. And if you want, I can just present first so that you know how we will present it. I think I do have a pen and paper, so I'll also do it with you guys. So you know what's going on. And you can go as crazy as you want. Basics, you can just have an AI integrated in the luggage, anything of that sort. as crazy as you want to go. Trust me. I'm looking forward for crazy ideas. I'm drawing a very rough sketch. I can't draw if my life depends. That's okay. I'm also drawing a very rough sketch. It's just you have to present. I am done with my thing. It's 32. How many of you have done it? Anybody who's done it? Okay, Monish, amazing. Me, okay, Kushant.
Mom,
Yes.
so the thing is, I can't show it, but I can explain how it is. Is it okay for you?
You can't turn your video on.
Yes, mom.
Okay, but okay, that's okay. Do it.
Sure, mom. Right now, or after a minute or so.
Mm. Do you guys want me to present first, or do you guys want you all to present first and then the last one I can do it? Anything? I can't draw. It's okay, Anne. It's okay. Your life is not dependent on that design. That's fine.
आज है यूएक्स और यूआई डिजाइन यूएक्स और यूआई डिजाइन
Hi, Darsh. How are you? We can hear you. That's okay. Darsh, so you have joined a bit late. That's okay. Right now we are okay, he left only. That's amazing. Okay. Okay, guys, should I do first or do you want you guys to do first? Tell me, quickly, fast.
You can go first, mom.
Okay, I'll go first. That's amazing. So I'll just show you my design first. Okay, wait, I'll have to remove the background. Okay, so this is my design that I made. I think it is clearly visible. So this is the luggage. Then I added a digital clock here. So for you to see time, then I added a GPS tracker, and for that there would be a phone app where you can just track your luggage where it is. So these two design, so this is like a one thing. Second, I added an AI sensor. So it once you pack your luggage, it will scan your entire body, and then it will walk with you. Like the wheels would just walk with you with the scanned person. So let's say if it scanned me, it will just walk with me. And the third one is an automatic vacuum sensor. So once I am done putting clothes in my luggage, I'll just click a button and it will automatically suck the air out. That would just make more space for me as users. So I thought about people who are traveling daily and are very tired. So this was the user that I kept in mind. And the problem my current luggage was seeing that it was very boring first, and did not I used to lose my luggages, so GPS tracker for that, and then extra struggle of carrying it alongside that I sorted. These were the three new features. Name, I would say the it luggage, let's say. So that was my luggage. Now I want you guys to present it like that. Let's just make it an interactive session. Who is going first? Who wants to go first? Okay, Ane. Okay, let's just start with Ane.
Yes, so my user is students,
Okay.
and the problem is that they misplace their luggage very easily. It
Mm-hmm.
has happened with me, that's why I'm saying.
That's okay.
And the third question, the first feature is a inbuilt GPS tracker. So
Okay.
like, if you lose your luggage at an airport or if it gets stolen, you can easily go to the police and you can show it to them that my luggage is over here, come with me and we'll just check and take it.
Yeah.
And the second thing is that you press a button on the app and the suitcase will come to you automatically.
Oh, so it's gonna walk.
Yes, it's going to work.
Okay. Nice.
And
I like it.
And the third one is that if you press a button on the app, the buzzer will be triggered and you can easily locate your luggage on a conveyor belt or something.
Oh, that's nice. Like SOS. If you quickly, if it's mixed between different luggages, you can just press the button and you
Yes.
know. Okay,
Yes.
I like it. I like this feature. So, what would you name it?
Um, Jet Set Go.
I like it. Amazing. Thank you, Ane, for being the first one. Pranav, you can speak now. Then we'll get Monish.
Yeah, so like basically like this is the I don't know if you can see it.
I can. I think it's a bit blurred, but that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
So it's
start.
a very bad design, but like I'll explain the features of it. So like you said, like I mean most of the features is like yours, but I guess the difference thing is, see, like when you're traveling between terminals or you're in a connecting flight, you usually tend to buy things like extra.
Yeah.
So I would add like a bottle holder, like usually people buy alcohol, so a bottle
Yeah.
holder inside the suitcase,
Mm-hmm.
and to keep valuables. And I would add a like a display on the outside where it has the picture of you. You can like take a photo with your with the app with the suitcase, and
Mm-hmm.
you can add a name tag. So it'll be like a digital display of your name and a photo, so it's easily available. And yeah, all the features like you mentioned also will probably be built in. And the outside cover, it's kind of boring. So like with the app, like nowadays you can see a lot of bags like handbags where you can add a display to the back of the bag,
Yeah.
so something similar to that. So for the whole like thing, you can add a design or something. And one more like really like interesting thing I really want is a weighing scale built into the suitcase. So once you have all your luggage, you can weigh it. It'll have a display on the suitcase itself, so you can see how much it weighs. That's like a really clean feature, which like
Yeah.
a lot of people would
Actually,
probably like. So
I
those,
think it's a good feature.
yeah.
Best feature amongst all. Okay. Thank you, Pranav. Let's just start with Monish and then Kushant. Uh, yes, Monish, you can speak. And then,
Yes,
yes.
yes, but can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, so my suitcase design is actually a bit simple. It's not, it doesn't need much of. So what I did is basically like what everyone said. So, but I wanted to mainly see on the wheel part. So the wheel, it gets stuck. It gets stuck very easily.
Hmm.
So what I wanted to do is I wanted to make a magnetic wheel that doesn't make any sound or it doesn't get stuck with anything.
Okay.
And secondly, I would do a design in the body of the suitcase, like I put LED and something like that.
Hmm.
So it'll be funky looking and like that something.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's it. It's like it's good
Anything
for.
third? Is what about your third feature?
So maybe I will use any. So I think I have faced this problem once. So I
Hmm.
wanted to rest my leg once. So
Okay.
what I did, I took my suitcase and I kept my leg on it.
Okay.
So maybe that might be also an very good idea for people
So
who wants.
how will you integrate it on the luggage? Would there be a button where you can just put your legs above particular thing that pops out?
No, no, not like that, ma'am. The handle, right? The handle part. You
Yeah.
can keep it inside out or outside it like that. According to your adjustability or according to your comfort, you can keep it inside it or outside it.
Okay. That's a nice feature for all the sleepy heads who are tired.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Thank you, Monish.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, Kushant, you are on mute.
Yeah, actually, most of the things it is same that most of us have already spoken. I'm like my main thing is putting a screen, just like putting a tab on the suitcase. Like it would
Mhm.
be the suitcase would be type luxury. It would be
Mhm.
like lightweight. There's a complete tab like interface put over there that will control and track everything. We can connect to mobile phone number. So we can we already from the mobile phone we can give an item list and they will check everything is being put out there. Like if we see there's some showcase, like they will just made up like a motorcycle that we can sit there and just we can go ride on it. And yeah, and it will be not like a zipper there. It will be some airtight, vacuum tight, like rubber.
Mhm.
It will be packed up within a single button click. And yeah, there is also some sorry, extra sections would be there to organize our material, like clothes of one side, some socks, another stuff there, and there is also locker there where you can put our cash. That would be more secure than ever. Yeah,
Okay.
this is the response.
So you just want different compartments in your luggage. That's a very good idea. And there's a different compartment with, let's say, a passcode for you to keep your valuable items. Okay. Nice. Thank you, Kushant. Shishti, you are next. I can't hear you. Can we hear her? Shishti, I can't hear you. Just fix your mic once. Okay, till then, people who have not presented yet. I'm looking forward to hear from you. Darsh, Yoel, Jia, Palak, Avni. Guys, my mic is not working. Mm-mm. Uh, that's okay. Can I explain here? Yes, go on. You'll just explain here. I'll read. I'll just have to go forward with it. I'll read it. You can type it till then. Darsh, do you wish to present? Yoel, Jia, Palak, Avni. I'll just wait for a minute if you wish to present. It's okay if you don't want it on your videos. You can just speak. Uh, okay. Yes, Palak.
So first of all, I added like a basic feature, which would be like a water bottle holder, kind
Mm-hmm.
of like how backpacks have. And then second, I added kind of like it would be like a foldable like flap, which could like expand to become like a seat, so you can like sit on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then on like the top of the suitcase, like like a foldable like phone stand, so you could like prop your phone on it.
Okay, that's nice. Thank you, Palak. Uh, okay, if Ane, Darsh, Yoel, Jia, Avni, if you don't wish to speak, that's okay. So, what I want you guys to do is, so did you guys like it? Did you like understood what I want to say when it comes to designing something? You can just put a thumbs up. That's okay. So what I want you guys to do right now is once the session ends, we all have seen boarding passes, right? The boarding passes. So what you need to do is you need to redesign a boarding pass with drawing. I'm dropping in my email ID. You can just share it to me. I'll obviously see it. Uh, so I've dropped my email ID. You can just share it with me. So this is a little bit homework, and I think you guys will do great job at it. So when I say redesigning it, you can just add features like, oh, a boarding pass. This boarding pass focuses on kids, and how will I make it better, or people who can't see. So go as creative as you want. I think Shishti, okay, so Shishti ideas is, so my idea is basically like there'll be an app for temperature control, okay, according to the things kept in the luggage. Second, One's like a sensor for color changes. Okay, so you can just change your color through your app. Nice. And third is a remote control app, so the luggage would follow on its own. Hmm. Okay, great features. I like the color feature because you need to just have different colors every time. So great work, Shrishti. Really appreciate it. So I'll just move forward with today's simulation. I was hoping that we would have more people, very less joined today, so we will do the simulation. I'll just share my screen now. Uh, okay, so I think we can see the screen, right? Okay. So you have recently joined the Soft Clay team and have been asked to design the next version of their app. So put on your design caps and now let's start designing. So we'll also have a live poll that will come on your screens. Manpreet, just take note of that and you'll have to vote
Yes.
accordingly. Okay. Now, for every profession related article, students are asked at the end of the article if they like profession or not. So there are various ways in which the students can give outputs. So the team interviewed a few students to find out which input method would be the best. So this was the input method, software student, super emo. So I think it would be quite confusing if we swipe right for like and swipe right for dislike. So these are all the features. I want you to just quickly read it. And software student Iron Woman said, I won't mind swiping or tapping, but I don't want to speak. So it's extremely tedious and we're not always in the position to speak. Then somebody said we can't have swipe up and swipe down for like unlike. So these are all different kinds of users with different kinds of needs. So can an app fulfill all needs? No, but it can prioritize needs. So we'll just have to figure that out. Okay, so considering the opinions of students and your tech heads, which amongst the following would you choose? Swipe right or like, swipe left for dislike, tap tick for like, tap cross for dislike, swipe up for like, swipe down for dislike, speak like or dislike at the end of the card. Just quickly vote, okay, to vote. Who won the simulation for UI UX? We are in the simulation right now. Okay, so okay, people are voting 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, 50% for second. So let's just go with second, 57. Okay, that's correct. So as per the views of the students and the tech head, you cannot choose to swipe right or left or up or down. You and also speaking is not preferred by students either. Thus, tapping tick for like and cross for dislike is the most suitable. Amazing. So software students love discussing current affairs on Adda discussions. They are required to do thumbs up or thumbs down to showcase which side of the debate they are on. So should they know the response of other students before they vote? Yes, so that they can choose what majority says. No, as they would go with the minority decision. 3, yes, as this might help them choose the right decision. 4th, as this might affect the stand on their topic. Is the poll live?
Not yet.
Okay. Manpreet. Okay, I'll just share it. Okay, people are voting for 3, 25% for 3, 80% for 4. Okay, let's just go with 4th. No. So, guys, it is a debate. You don't want people to influence through others' opinion. So, if students could see the response of other students before asking, this would affect their views, and they may choose what the majority vote is and may not vote for the original stand on the topic. Amazing. So reward section in software allows students to use their points to get discounts, right? So you can just refer to the picture. You ask your team to do a survey and find out what students want in exchange for points. So some 45% said unique avatars, 25% free career guidance, 10% discounts on courses, 10% on workshops, and 10% on discounts on e-commerce. Okay. So which reward will you give in exchange for the points? Discounts on e-commerce, cool avatars, one-day workshop, discounts on courses. I think the poll is live. Okay. 50% wants to go with option number second. Just because it is solving the majority problem, is that so? Why we are not thinking about the minority? Okay, let's just go with option number 2 then. Yes, cool avatars. Why? Because as per the data, the majority of the students want cool avatars and free career guidance sessions. So again, this is not ki, oh, I am prioritizing people who are majority people and leaving the minority out. It's not like that. In your initial stages, you need to just prioritize somehow majority, because if those majority are unsatisfied, nobody would use your app. The minorities, their needs and preferences gets filled later on. So that's something your design will eventually grow. But till then, focus on the majority part. Okay, so Softclay has been getting a lot of queries from parents. From parents on the progress reports of their students. So what kind of report should Softclay give to their parents? Everyday report, summary report, bi-weekly report, or a snapshot of profile? This is a bit personal, I think. Okay. 25% for summary report of Clay points. Okay. 29% for snapshot of profile with career and challenges completed. Bi-weekly report of, okay, let's just go with option number 3. That's correct. So why is that so? Because sending reports every day on each action won't help students. It would be very demotivating for students, because let's say if today I might messed up somewhere, that my parents would just know about it. So no, a summary report of claim points earned and consumed would not give parents any information. And third, the completion activity won't also give any insights. So perfect. Now, Software has noticed that its students like to share their creations with friends and would like to see their friends' creations, hence adding a feature of friends. So what functionality should be allowed? See creations and ranking of those users, see creations and ranking of any user without any required permission, see creations of people from your school only, or see creations of only those users who live in your neighborhood. Okay. Option number first and 3 is something that people are going with. Okay, let's go with option number first. 80% is there. Yes. So if you allow users to see others' creations without permission, there's a chance of they won't be comfortable. Second, just friends and just neighborhood is kind of making you, not allowing you to have more friends outside. So that's okay. Okay, correct. Now, look at the avatars now. You have the following 3 options for avatars: Avatar 1, Avatar 2, and Avatar 3. So this is something that we chose, right? Key for the majority of the population, we want to give avatars now. So, okay, there is no poll right now. You can just skip it. So you conducted research and found these results for avatar preferences. So girls, Avatar 3 are 50%, Avatar 1 for 30%, and Avatar 2 for 20%. For boys, Avatar 1 was 55%, 2 was 20%, and 25% was 3. So this is boys and girls now. So knowing that 70% of your users are girls, which avatar will you pick? Okay, option number 3. I can just, yeah, you can see here. Okay. Let's go with option number 3, 100% votes. That's correct. So this is again based on the data, right? So since 70% of the users are girls, you would give 70% of the girls. And everything here works on data. So that's what I'm telling you, that YouTube and these apps have a lot of data to know what feature people want, majority wants. So UI UX is not just about bad drawings, it's about data as well. Okay, so you have launched the app successfully and it has been a month, but your CEO has come back with a problem. Now some of the students are spending hours and hours on the app on the weekend and nothing during the week. She believes that learning should be continuous and wants you to critically analyze the problem. Now, considering you want to understand if learning every day helps, which data would you analyze? Analyze the insights and of weekend users only, of daily users only, or of both, or you compare daily with weekly. Okay, people are going with option number 4 or option number 3. Okay, let's go with option number 3. Uh, okay. So compare the insights from daily and weekend users. So that is something that you'll do to see where we are lagging behind. So you indeed found that daily users were using the app much more than seriously, with sharper insights on their career exploration. So they were also attending other useful things such as webinars and workshops. So what feature would you launch to make more continuous on your app? Can we quickly have the poll? Call people every day, set a daily alarm, send notification every hour, block access if students are not regular. Okay, option number 2, let's just go with it. That's correct. So if you call people every day, it annoys users. If you send notifications, it irritates, so you cannot block users. So that was the correct option. So your alarm feature has been successfully, your CEO is super impressed by your work, and we are all done. So this was a bit insight as to how your day in a life of a UI UX designer would look like. So okay.
Tanvi, I think we have Ravi go.
Okay, the guest has not joined yet.
They have joined.
Just a second, I'll just share my screen. Okay. Okay, so today we have Ravi Tej, who is the UX designer of Microsoft. He is the founder and host of Notes of Design podcast, which is right now trending in 32 countries. He's ex-user experience at Temenos, and he has worked at Wong Doggy, Byju's, and his book Notes of Wisdom: Lessons from 100 Creatives Visionaries on Amazon, and he has overall 8+ years of experience. So it is a pleasure to have you, Ravi.
Thank you so much, Tanvi, and hi everyone. Excited to be here and answer a few of the questions that you folks have for me.
Thank you, sir. So, moving forward, I have some questions prepared by my end, and students can just raise your hands and then they can just unmute and ask you questions. Okay, so what does it mean to work as a UI UX designer, and can you explain using an example?
Yeah, actually, it's a wonderful question, and it's also a reflection of all the 8 years that I've worked on. So, in one liner, if I have to say, being a UX designer is like being advocate to the user. So,
Yeah.
your first and foremost priority is like how could be an advocate to the user and then represent user in the forum that you are working on. So, to clearly break that down, so you as a designer, basically your main goal is how did you solve problem for that particular group of users. So how will you do that is once you build that empathy and understand that user problem right from the journey till the end, that's where you'll able to solve the problem. So let me bring an example since you have asked about an example. So I work in designing Windows, especially the cross device experience. So my goal as a designer is how could I enhance sharing experience on Windows as better as possible. So earlier, when we did was, if you have to share a certain file or anything, you have to do 3 steps. But
Mhm.
I came up with an interaction paradigm where you have to now just do drag and drop, and you could share the files. So what I simply did was a change in an interaction paradigm that helped in faster sharing of files and lesser strain on the user in sharing the files with their desired contacts or desired applications. So something like so small and so hidden nugget, you
Yeah.
could discover only when you build that sort of an empathy and understand the system entirely with a deep product thinking mindset that
Mhm.
would help you act as a great advocate to the user. So that's what I'll say in one liner is you have to be a great advocate. That's where you'll be a great UX designer.
Thank you. And you mentioned something about empathy. So
Yes.
if if I as a designer, I've never experienced that interface, I've never experienced that problem. Still, how can I get that empathy for my users?
That's actually a great question. So the best and foremost way is like putting yourself in the user's shoes is what we often always hear from a lot of people, right? So
Mhm.
how does that thing happens is like first you have to understand the problem space itself.
Okay.
So if I say if the problem is around, let's take a simple example that we all understand as food delivery, Zomato or Swiggy. So
Mhm.
unless you understand the space of food and the space of delivery, it's very tough for you to even empathize with the user first.
Mhm.
So to empathize it, you have to start with the product or this area of the space. So
Mhm.
once you understand the area of space, okay, food delivery is a larger umbrella, larger area, and these are the competitors that exist there. Now
Mhm.
comes the empathy of how could you connect with your user. For example, the user is having a trouble wherein every time he orders food, it takes 30 minutes or 40 minutes, and the food might reach to him in a very cold state. So that's a problem a user is having. If you see that problem is a very micro level problem, but there are macro things that are attached to solve that problem. That macro level is nothing but where your experience thinking has to come in play along
Mhm.
with having that empathy. So empathy helps you understand, acha, okay, there's this problem that I have to solve for, but there's
Mhm.
this larger ecosystem that I have to understand first before directly jumping into solving problem. And
Mhm.
that thing comes with a lot of understanding, user research, and that's where research plays a very key role in understanding and empathizing with that market and that user. Where once you build that empathy and understanding of that market, then you will be able to provide a better solution or even able to at least, I'll say, start think about the possible solutions.
Okay. That's a new perspective for me. Thank you.
Mm.
So, Ane has put a question, sir. What's the difference between web designer, UI UX designer, and a graphic designer? Is coding required for all?
That's actually a great question. So consider design as a larger umbrella. And within those larger umbrellas, there are these different fields: graphic designer, textile designer, UX designer, and all of that. And web designer, so earlier there wasn't this defined term like UI, UX designer. Earlier there were web designers. Even when the time when I was in college almost 10 years back, we used to call them as web designers. And as a designer of web, your goal was to create websites. That thing has slowly evolved into what we know as UI UX designer and product designers and all. So the nomenclature has evolved based on the time. And since with rise in AI now, our titles will change. And this is the thing that I always say in all my mentorship sessions as well is that don't stick with the titles. Titles will change based on the time and the technology that is there. You have to adapt yourselves and understand the core fundamentals and how you could apply across everywhere is what it matters. So the design fundamentals for all these fields that you have mentioned, Ane, are all particularly the same ones. It's just that different fields lead to different tools and different technologies using which you try different things. And coding is not required, but like with the rise of AI, it's almost like anybody could wipe code. So it's not always wrong to learn something new and then bring that goodness into your existing field. So, but by default, if you ask me, coding is not required to get into the fields, but it's a good optional to have, a good thing to have, but it's not a must have.
I think, Ane, your question is answered. Um, Again, if you want anybody who wishes to ask, you can unmute as well and ask a question. So, what are the skill sets required to excel in this role, and what are some transferable skills that this field teaches you?
So one of the prime skills that I always talk about is like having the ability to problem solve and having that mindset, growth mindset to understand what problems to even pick for. So not every problem that you think is solved also. So as a designer, you have to build that mindset. Ki what are the solvable problems and what are the problems that could create an impact? Impact in terms of both the business and both the user. So finding the right problem is also a great skill to have. And then once the problem is found, how will you solve that problem is also a great skill to have. Then comes the things like storytelling, visual design, and visual communication and all that, which will help you excel in this role. But having that growth mindset and problem solving ability is the key to major pillars that will help you excel in this role. And some of the transferable skills that you mentioned. So UX design is such a beautiful field, I feel, when compared to other design disciplines, is that this field accepts almost everybody, and that's why you see so many transitions from different backgrounds also into this field. And that is because also the goodness that you can learn from something else and apply it here, that will help you grow, is something that's really nice. So some of the transferable skills, like few of the examples that I could think of, if you are good with video editing or motion graphics and all, you can take that same skill and put it here and build great micro interactions and those delightful interactions whenever you deal with designing any app or website. There are a lot of these inter skills that you can bring in into this field and polish your work. And that's where, like I previously said, if you know coding, even with the AI tools and all, if you understand how the code fundamentals work, it gets very easy for you to work with your developer and make that product into life and bring that product into life. So you could bring the goodness of all the different skills and put it in UX design, and you can excel in this role.
Okay, right in our college also we were doing Figma and all. We had these projects on Figma. We have to create prototypes and also.
Yes.
I think these apps are also required. Okay, I got a question that will AI kind of take over the job of a UI UX designer?
So uh, there's this very famous quote. They say AI won't take over your jobs, but a person who's using AI will take over your jobs. And I truly align with that, because with the rise of technologies, it became quite what AI does to the fundamentals is it enables almost anybody to be anything. So it's almost like discovery of fire to the mankind. So it's on you. How do you utilize that fire? Is what defines you as a person. But I truly believe that AI helps you enable and do a lot more things than taking out your jobs. Sure, there are a lot of tools that could do a lot of great visual thinking and all. For example, the recent launch of Google Stitch, where you have to just enter a prompt and it will give you predefined great UI. But the thinking is still missing in that. And we as human beings, and that's where I said that cognitive ability and that empathy is something that AI systems haven't built yet. And that's where you as a human, your thinking and your thought process and your empathy angle comes into play in solving those key problems. AI will be helping you in assisting to do all those redundant jobs, and or maybe help you understand what are the key insights that are there in that particular research. But AI can't come and replace you. So that's why I suggest it's better you learn those AI tools and skills and then put them in your work and make yourself even better, rather than worrying about will AI take my job, or if AI takes your job also tomorrow there's something else. So this is almost like that internet era, when internet just newly came. A lot of people thought ki this is the end of everybody's life and all, but still see we survived. And we so that's a human mankind's nature. Whenever something new comes, there's a lot of fear also that comes, and a person who conquers that fear and takes up on those things is a person who will go ahead or go forward with those technologies ahead. So keep upskilling yourself.
I think that answered the question. Going on, what does a day in the life of a UX designer look like?
There's also a great retrospective question. So usually, I'll talk about my day, and it quite varies from designer to designer. Working on different products and different services, it varies a lot. And at least for me, like the morning hours, I keep it for wireframing, prototyping, and reading about all the research insights and case studies and all. So when you design for billions of users, it's very much important for you to understand every nuances and key insights whenever you're taking such large scale design decisions. So morning hours is usually typically goes under So it's wireframing, prototyping, and studying stage. Afternoons, I put it for a lot of brainstorming and collaborative and feedback sessions. So oftentimes, what a lot of people think that you design something and directly just goes out there, but that's not how usually things work out. You as a designer, it's very much important for you to work in collaborative spaces and in collaborative setups. So you have to collaborate with your product managers, you have to collaborate with your engineers and all to get that product to life.
Mm.
So usually my afternoons are all filled with those sort of calls and sessions, and there's also a lot of feedback things that happen because
Mm.
whatever you design is something that doesn't get shipped directly. There are a lot of different angles and perspectives and feedbacks you have to take before shipping it out. So those
Mm.
sort of things I keep it for my afternoon, and usually night I keep it for all the projects that I work on, be it my podcast, YouTube channels, and running communities and things. I keep it in the night because that gives me some free space to think about and beyond my work regularly as a designer. So that's how a day in my life usually look like.
Wow, that's very hectic and very busy. I think you're always packed 24 hours a day.
But yeah, that's the fun. I say I'd say I'll never felt hectic about it, and I've been following this since a very long time.
Mm.
What I truly feel is like if you're truly passionate about this field, the time gets automatically consumed in this, and
Yeah.
almost pushes you to do even more, even more, even more, and that's a real kick I feel as a designer. You delve so much into this thing that you don't feel like coming out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And when as product as designers, you solve a problem and actually works out, and then you get
Yes.
good responses. So I think that's what fuels your
Yes.
dopamine.
Yes.
Okay. So what are the educational qualifications required to become a UI UX designer?
So honestly, there's no fixed degree that is needed to master the UX design field or the product design field. I've met a lot of brilliant designers from architectures to even dentists and psychologists who have turned into this field and did a great work. So all you need is like having the great ability to solve problems and also have a portfolio, so that you can show your thinking and thought process out there. So if you have a great problem solving ability, a growth mindset, and a good portfolio, I think you can get started in this field. And all this comes only when you really crack the fundamentals out really well. So once you get the understanding, then I think degrees doesn't matter that much, at least in this field. But if you are really passionate and if you want to do, so I got admissions into Parsons, New York. So if you're really that passionate and if you want to do, then it's always great to have a degree in HCI, human computer interactions, and there are a lot of these communication design courses also in India by IDC and IIT Guwahati. You can do courses in visual communication or visual design and all that, which will also help you get into UX design as a field.
Okay. And how, because right now these are all college school students here. So how can they, kick off their journey, or any experience that they can get right now during this time?
So the best way I'll say is like since times have changed and now so much access to videos out and technologies out there is there. So I say start with a very simple thing. Ask yourself, how good are you with solving problems? Just look around your house and then try and figure out 10 problems that you have listed. Out of those 10 problems, what are the ones that you think you can solve for? Then just go to Figma. Figma is free, and if you are in school, you can apply for Figma education license, and that gets you for free. Just try and make an app for yourself. Try and show it to your parents and your circle around and ask the feedback whether it's trying to solve their problem or not. Try and do this small sort of an exercise so that you understand the nuances and all. And once you feel like you're good and all, since you are still in school, if you get time, you can also prepare for BDES, so Bachelor's in Design degree, and you can directly apply for different design schools once you clear UC exams and all. But the very starting problem is ask yourself: Are you really passionate about solving problems, and are you really passionate about learning something new every day? Because there's a lot of context switching that happens in this field. So unlike other traditional fields, here there's a lot of context switching. So today, if I'm designing for Windows and if tomorrow I'm designing for a banking application, the context is entirely different. The knowledge base and the user group and the problem that I'm solving is entirely different. So the agility to quickly shift is also something that is needed. So ask yourself all these questions and then but I think you are at the right age group if you want to experiment also, and
Mm,
there's no harm in trying out, because design fundamentals are things that you can apply anywhere at anything, even in your regular day-to-day life.
mm.
There's no harm in trying out.
So, you talked about shifting your mindset from one design to another. So, does that mean that in a field of designing, you just need to keep on learning a lot? So, if I am creating a design for this one company, let's say, so I need to learn about what they do, what they're not doing, which design would help them. And if I'm switching that, then again the same cycle repeats, right?
Yes, I say learning is there. Like learning has to be the core paramount across any field that I think we should go.
Mm,
And that's why I keep bringing up that thing of growth mindset and ability to learn.
mm,
So always be a student throughout your life, because every day there's a new learning opportunity. You might think, oh, what will I do with this information today? But tomorrow you never know how will that information come and act like.
right.
So even if you become tomorrow a designer or not, but having that ability to understand and having that growth mindset is 100% needed, whether you be a designer or not. But if
Mm,
you are a designer, it's very much important that you do this to keep up with the market trends, to keep up with the competition, to understand, because in this digital ecosystem, things are very fast. It's
mm,
not like you have been using the same Zomato app that you have been seeing.
mm.
So things rapidly change, and for that rapid change, you need to have a rapid knowledge base as well. So yeah.
That's true. Okay. Does anybody wish to ask any questions? I can unmute you if you want. You can just raise your hand. Any questions? Kushant, Monish, Palak. Okay. So, how do you think this role will evolve in the future, and what does the career trajectory then would look like?
So design is becoming more and more strategic these days, along with being creative,
Mm-hmm.
and that's also because so many tools are there now to assist a designer. So it's all about, just like I previously mentioned, it's all about how you empathize and bring your cognitive skills as a human,
Mm,
and bring that goodness of a human into the design, because design can pretty much be done by AI now, but that element of humanness and that element of
mm,
empathy is something that you as a designer have to bring in. So, and with the rise of AI and the new technologies that are coming forward, I believe
mm.
we are heading to a future where um, there's this thing called intelligent interfaces. So
Okay.
we are going away from these traditional interfaces. For example, if you might see the Zomato, same Zomato is there for even in your mom's phone, even in your dad's phone, even in your phone. But
Yeah.
tomorrow the interfaces won't be these static interfaces, and they're gonna be dynamic interfaces. So there will be interfaces customized only for you. So your Zomato app might look very different than your mom's phone or not. So we are heading to that sort of a future, and I think it's really bright, and it gives up a lot of opportunity for us as a designers to evolve as well. And if that thing happens, then I think we'll go into something as AIX, which is AI-led product experience designers,
Mm,
where you won't be just thinking about a feature and all. You'll be thinking on a system level on how to design for a product or a service on a scale along when AI is attached to it. So how will those interactions will look like? How is those dynamic interfaces we're going to shift like?
mm,
That's how I think the career trajectory will look like. And it's a very also hard to, predict things related to AI, is because what we thought 10 years back was super impossible is like very much possible today. And
mm,
what you think like won't be existing tomorrow is like very much today's thing. So
mm,
it's very tough in that way. But I think, yeah, keeping up yourself with latest updates and constant exposure to different great forums like this uh, is really helpful to understand what sort of a career path or what sort of a future you want to plan for yourself.
mm. Okay. So it only comes down to being good at data as well, because you need to work with the data and AI and then
Yes.
design your app.
See, one great thing you have brought up, yeah. So you as a designer, when you design for scale, data is your prime and data is your best friend.
Mm,
So data backed design and is something that has been core fundamental whenever you work for larger, bigger organizations,
Mm.
because it's with the data that you prove your insights. It's with the data that you get your feedback. It's with the data that you experiment and change around.
Mm.
Data is a very core pillar of design, and you have to understand, I won't say you have to understand all the statistical knowledge and all, but having a fundamental understanding of data and data cleaning will really help you be on a great side of your career.
Okay, so with that, with the designing thing, you can go a bit in data as well to have more better.
Yes.
So tell us about an interesting user-centric problem you solved as a UI UX designer, apart from the Microsoft one. Anything else?
So apart from the Microsoft work was, so I'm kind of person who, if I see something, I try and see if I can solve it or not, and that's the reason why I was able to make so many different products and things. And so one of the interesting things I'll say, so there was this one of the similar conferences like this, where I was giving a talk in Bangalore. This was late 2015.
Okay.
So I used to heavily write on medium.com. So folks who doesn't know medium.com, go check that out. A lot of great people write great stuff out there, their own perspectives and all. Reading those perspectives really help you build great knowledge. So during that process, I became twice the top writer in design on Medium, and I was giving a talk on this conference only about how could you as a designer can be a great writer as well. And there was no AI stuff and all to write, so you have to write all your stuff on your own.
Yeah.
Suppose that conference, I met with this lady. She was kind of partially blind.
Okay.
So she came and asked me, Tej, I use a screen reader. Why don't you screen reader to read my articles? Why don't you record your voice and put those articles on a SoundCloud or something? And
Mm.
until then, I wasn't aware of what does even a screen reader mean, and designing for accessibility was a very new thing for me,
Mm.
because the domain and the space I was designing for also didn't consider about accessibility that much, TBH. And so it opened a new eyes on, like, oh wow, there's also this set of users,
Mm.
and how could I solve this problem? So from there, the Notes of Design podcast has rose from. So one simple thing that how could I make something for blind people eventually got into a bigger platform where we had interviewed over 120 plus design leaders from around the world. I've traveled around the world also during the same process in solving this one simple problem, that how could I solve for this, that led to something so big
Mm.
that Nodes of Design is one of the oldest design podcasts. It's been almost 7 years since we started that, and it had helped thousands of people around the world beyond one single country. So, what one thing that I thought will solve for one particular sort of group helped in
Mm.
also solving that particular group's problem, and also helped in solving a larger world problem, and brought design to a global stage, and got so many global perspectives on them. So that's one of the interesting problems. And similarly, like that, there are many other things. So whenever I feel like, oh, there's this thing that doesn't exist, I just go and try and do it,
Mm.
because it's so much fun when you get that impact, and when you go and meet those people with such impact stories. Oh, because of this thing, this has happened and all. So that
Mm.
really inspires, and that really pushes me every day to go beyond my work and contribute on all of this. So when I got admissions into Parsons New York, I had this similar dilemma that there's nothing about design education. So if you go type anything about any university, you'll get the university website, but what will you as a student do about reading about that website? There's no clear insights and all. So in 2020, me and my other friend who was going to Pratt, we thought, why don't we make videos on design education, how to crack international design universities and all.
Mm.
And that platform has went to become the education podcast, where did almost like 40-50 videos at on different design colleges and how to crack design colleges, that had helped so many people get into design colleges and complete their design education. So yeah, finding those small problems, and then coming up solutions that you think could even impact, even if it's impacting 5 people, go
Mm.
ahead and do it. Because in that process of trying to solve, you will you know understand what are the nuances that are involved. You'll get to learn new skills, you'll get to meet new people, you'll
Mm.
get to build new perspectives. So don't stop yourself from solving anything. Like if you think you can solve it, just go and solve it with a true intent. And if your intent is really clean, and if the
Mm.
world resonates with your message, for sure that will go and impact thousands and millions of people's life.
I think after like hearing all of what you've said, you always wanted to solve a problem. You'll just find you'll if you're bored, you'll just find a problem and you'll solve it. Even if it's just helping 5 people. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that's why your podcast is, viral in 32 plus countries. So
Yeah.
that's a very
So yeah,
good
it's like one thing pushes to another and another, and just you keep figuring out those problems and then keep solving. So I found there's a huge gap between students and AI and all. I recently gave a talk at IIT Hyderabad. So that has inspired me to start an AI community. It's called AI Forge, where it's all about sharing AI learnings and all, because the future is all about AI from
Yeah.
different perspectives, like from coding's perspective, designer's perspective. So we
Mm.
created this community which has almost 400 AI-led creators from everywhere around the world on Discord. So
Okay.
people are exchanging conversations and posting learnings and all. So that it's a combined learning towards a greater future. So it's all about finding those things and doing whatever the best you can for.
Wow, that's amazing. So, but I want to know more about like where did you start your career from? Like, okay, as a kid, you could be a very problem-solving person, but where did your career start and what did you do?
So this is a very interesting reflection. Yeah, nice. So right from the childhood, I was lucky enough. I had a lot of global exposure, and also I've been traveling places to places because of my parents' jobs and all.
Mm.
So that has helped me understand cultures really well. Uh,
Mm.
I spent a good time outside from my main home city. So that had helped me cultures really well. That has helped me understand what does how does people's life look at different situations and different periods of life.
Mm.
So that I think has helped me today who I am. And also my parents have been great support. They have never stopped me in experimenting whatever I want. When I
Mm.
was a kid, I was very passionate about automobile, and also I ended up studying mechanical engineering with majors in automobile. So while I was doing automobile, there was a lot of these design elements that comes into play. Designing for tool design, we call it. So designing for nuts, bolts, turbines, and all that, engine parts. So that's where my introduction to design happened. There's a software called CATIA and SolidWorks.
Okay.
So using CATIA, you design all these aeroplane parts, cars, bikes, and then there's software called ANSYS, using which we test these products. So you don't design an airplane. Just like digital product testing is quite so different when compared
Uh,
to the
Yeah.
physical product testing that we do. So
Mm.
these softwares have what something that kicked that inner designer in me, and that has helped me in understanding the core fundamentals really well.
Mm.
And from there, yeah, the journey started, and that time there was not just UI UX and stuff. So I used to go to these design meetups that used to happen in NID and NIFT colleges, where I
Mm.
used to go and meet faculty to understand what is this space. So I had always friends from other departments and seniors from other departments.
Mm.
So my and at that time only my cousin sister went to US in 2013-14. There
Mm.
she told me that there's this thing, human computer interaction, it's really blowing up. I just
Mm.
went to MIT Media Labs and they're making some cool stuff, so you will be aligned with this. So
Mm.
there she made me meet one of her friends who was working at MIT Media Labs. He told me more about interaction design and everything.
Okay.
And that's where the journey started in late 2013. And yeah, it's been quite a worthwhile ride, different things, experimented with different stuff, and learned a lot of new tools also
Mm.
in this journey. And yeah, that's where I've started my journey. So far, it's been going great. I've designed across multiple surfaces
Mm.
for multiple user bases in multiple countries also. So all
Mm.
that context really helps you open up your brain and understand the detailed nuances.
Wow, that's actually a very reflective journey. Like you
Yeah.
started from very somewhere from very different, and then
Yes.
how you ended up here. Wow. So, can you just give me like let's say like five um platforms or apps that these kids can, learn right now that would benefit them in their CV and in their UI UX career journey?
So yeah, I'll be like I'll do a small plugin. So I've written this book. It's called Nodes of Wisdom: Lessons from 100 Creative Visionaries.
Yeah.
The whole point of writing that book and even pricing. So design books are super super expensive. So
Okay.
and there's no one book which covers all the topics. So that's
Hmm.
where I found this problem space. How about, since I had so many conversations with design leaders and experts like even Don Norman, Jacob Nielsen, and all, how about I summarize all of that and put that in one book?
Hmm.
And that's where, like, it's a 2-year project that took me, and that is the birth child Nodes of Wisdom. So I say it's written in very simple English. You kids can just go and buy this, and also it's just $500, cost of one coffee cup. And that's my whole purpose of writing this book also. How could I make it so accessible so that the knowledge, so I always believe that knowledge should not have a barrier for somebody to access it. And that's also one of the core reasons why I've just kept it at the price of a
Hmm.
cappuccino, wherein you can buy a book and read about everything fundamentals from design to even life experiences about how to design to solve for problems, both digital and physical product design. So I suggest go and read Nodes of Wisdom. And
Hmm.
after that, you can try out the tools like Figma. Figma is a very core tool for designing digital products. And if you're passionate about 3D and all, I suggest go Blender. And all the tools I'm mentioning are free.
Hmm.
So Figma is free,
Yeah.
Blender is free. Then
Hmm.
if you could, if you're interested in AI and all, then try use Luma AI and also Chat GPT. Luma helps you generate free images of mid-journey quality,
Hmm.
and ChatGPT free variant it's there. So try and brainstorm with ChatGPT. Try do a role play. So tell ChatGPT you are a product manager or you are an engineer, and try and feed your Figma designs to it, so
Hmm.
that you'll get that understanding of, oh, what all things I missed in the product way, or what all things I missed in a designer, in an engineer's perspective, using which you'll build a 360 perspective on, okay, this is how things, because whatever you design is something that doesn't land like that. There's a lot of business thinking that you should do, there's a lot of product thinking you should do, there's a lot of engineering minds that is required, so
Hmm.
that the end user will use it. All those things you can build with these free tools. And I also suggested Google Stitch, which is write a prompt and it will design. Try and see that you will understand how AI is thinking and how you as a human can think about. And learning tools is very easy, at least in digital product design. Figma is very bare minimum. It's a very basic tool. So
Hmm.
if you just spend 1 hour, you can understand the fundamentals of Figma. So it's
Yeah.
all about you learning your thinking and creating products that will help you shape better.
Hmm. Okay. I'm surely gonna buy a book though, with Notes of Wisdom.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if let's say you are hiring an intern from like school students, so what is the one thing that you would want them to have?
So we usually, I sit for hirings, and also I do hire for my own studio stuff that we run here, which is absolutely non-profit for creative community and all. So the
Hmm.
first and foremost thing that I see in any person is hard work and grit. See,
Hmm.
Figma and all, I believe, like, could be taught to anybody,
Hmm.
but that mindset is something that you have to build. That thing doesn't come on your own. So the
Hmm.
barest of bare minimum I see is like the ability to learn, hard work, and grit. That resilience is very much important. And when you want to be a designer and when you are interning somewhere, like be it with me or be it anybody, these three things will help you really absorb everything out of that internship.
Hmm.
So don't do it for sake of doing it. And that's a other thing that I would like to suggest, since you all are school kids.
Hmm.
Invest your time at the right place at the right moment, and always remember you are the owner of your own time.
Hmm.
So I think time is the only universal constant which is equally divided, just like how gravity is for all of us. So
Hmm.
everybody has that same 24 hours as gravity constant 9.8. So how better you utilize the time for
Hmm.
your betterment or for your happiness is on your hands.
Hmm.
So don't just limit yourself to certain things. Don't just limit to, it's always good to hear from people, understand their perspectives, but always be the owner of your time and have that mindset right from your very young age.
Hmm.
And it's been fed by my parents into me, and that really then helps you understand your time and use it very effectively. If you
Hmm.
understand the game of time, then I think every other skill you can learn eventually, because it's all about managing time and doing the right things at the right place with the right priority.
Hmm.
Having that order will really help you out. So understanding of time, having that hard work at your internship level, and even when you grow, if you build from your internship level, then automatically it will translate when you keep growing.
Hmm.
And that ability to take feedback. So 1,000 people will say and come, "Ki, what did you made this? Why is it like this?" and all that. But listen from everybody,
Hmm.
because consider feedback like a gift. If today I am coming and saying, "Hey, this is this and this is that," then
Hmm.
I'm investing my time and saying, "Ki, hey, you could do better." And
Hmm.
feedback only comes from person who really think like you can do better. So if somebody comes and says, "Ki, hey, you are bad with this," don't take it to heart. Think it in a positive way and say, "Ki, that person is willing to invest in me. That
Hmm.
person is showing me the right way. That's why he has said this thing to me." So rather
Yeah.
than being reactive towards feedback,
Hmm.
just smile and be happy that someone came and wasted their 2 minutes and gave you a feedback about something. So always see from that lens, and that lens applies across be it design or anything in life also. You
Hmm.
listen from 100 people,
Yeah.
take 10 good things out of them, and do one really great thing. So
Hmm.
that's how you funnel down feedback and you work upon it. And as a designer, feedback is part and parcel of your life.
Hmm.
Whatever you make, 100 people might like it, and there
Hmm.
will be same 100 people who dislike it also.
Hmm.
So you have to build that ability of humility in your mind right from the beginning. If one person says, "Oh wow, great stuff you have did," there will be another person who say, "Ye kya bana diya." So you have to accept both the realities and
Hmm.
understand what's the, and that's where data plays a very key role in
Hmm.
having these arguments and having these decisions also in your life. That okay,
Hmm.
data says this and this,
Hmm.
and this is the decision that I've made. So that backs you up also. So
Hmm.
data is a great partner in when you design or even in your life also.
Yeah.
So database decisions are what that gives you best returns.
So is it always like you need to go with the majority? So if majority.
Yeah. So again, that's blurs the lens. So you can't say majority is always right also.
Hmm.
So it's all comes to what you as a person is understanding, that it comes to the core fundamental analysis. See, everybody's right and wrong is very different. So we live in the world where it's gray. So what
Yeah.
is the percentage of gray that you want to take, or what is the percentage of gray you want to play around, is on your hands.
Hmm.
So that's what I will say.
So, what is one thing you like about your field and one thing that you absolutely dislike about it?
So one thing I really like is like the ability to experiment and the impact that I could create on thousands of lives. So
Hmm.
before working at Microsoft Windows cross devices, I used to work at Microsoft Health AI,
Hmm.
where I was responsible for designing a vaccine tracker, COVID mobile tracker,
Hmm.
and all of this, which has like real world impacted millions of people. And that
Hmm.
happiness that those things, I've also worked on clinical trials project, which has, so working in health domain was one of the blessing in disguise that I got, in which thousands of and millions of life impact I was able to see. Had it
Hmm.
been some other field, I wouldn't have done that. And when I
Hmm.
was working with in my early careers at Byju's, when Byju's was very early in 2016, 17, the
Hmm.
impact that it has created on the children and the education revolution it brought. So
Hmm.
these sort of large scale impact, and with Temenos, the banking industry, how did we shaped it with AI? So yeah,
Hmm.
these sort of impacts only a designer could experience, and these are lifetime sort of a things. So
Hmm.
imagine you are designing something and billions of people are using it. So
Yeah.
that's our superpower, and that's what makes us special as a designer.
So, like, if not design, what would be your field? If let's say you never ended up in design.
So if I never would have ended up in design, I would have become an pilot or a racetrack driver. I have a professional track racing training as well. So if not a designer, either of these two, else I
Hmm.
would have ended up in my family business. Yeah.
Okay. But I don't think you regret it, do you?
No, no regrets. And this again like goes to that same fundamental of this thing that
Hmm.
in life, whatever you do, just do it. Don't carry regrets along with you. So whatever decision you made, you just own it and just move forward with it, because
Hmm.
the regrets only pulls you back. So there's no regrets as such. Earlier in my career, when I used to dislike a lot, is like, oh, whatever I'm designing is not getting into the product. So that
Hmm.
frustration I used to had very early on in my career. But
Mm.
eventually I understood that's not how world works. And I'm no Maharaja that I design and I say, okay, this is final, so this is final.
Yeah.
There are a lot of these things that comes into the play, a lot of collaborative work, a lot of brainstorming and qualitative feedback which gets implemented.
Mm.
So, so yeah, eventually I learned that out. So technically, if you ask me today, there's no dislike as such.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like in your entire designing life, ever did you ever have a moment where your design completely failed, let's say, and how did you push forward with that?
Oh yeah, a lot of such instances happen. So especially like this within the same context. So whatever we design doesn't end up onto the production. So there are a lot of such designs which are there still in my Figma, which are sitting, which got stopped due to different reasons, made business reasons, made sudden shift of users' mindset, or maybe sudden change in technology.
Mm.
So those sort of moments always happen, and you have to carry it with, you know, with great pride only. That
Mm.
see, every pixel that you draw on Figma is a learning experience. If it
Mm.
goes and if it impacts lives, that's really good. Um, and there were so I also have patents also in design. So if it goes to that stage where you could, you know, make something very novel that you get a patent, that's even more nicer. But yeah, you have to just adapt with that. Ki whatever happens, happens. You do your 100% best, and then leave it out to the world. And even with the initiatives that I was saying, so I never expected my podcast to blow up. I never expected the book to be a great hit. So it's all
Mm.
just with a true intent, just want to solve something, just did it. And that's what I say. Like you put it out to the world, and the
Mm.
world will take it ahead. If the world resonated it with it well, it will take it forward. If it
Mm.
doesn't, then it will crash. If it crashed, you should not get disappointed. You should learn from those lessons and try and implement it and do something great with it. So yeah.
Okay. So, can you bust one myth about UI UX design for us today?
So there are a lot of these memes that I see ki make logo a little bigger, make
Yeah.
font size a little bigger. So
Yeah.
no, designer doesn't just do that. So it's a biggest myth. Nobody will ever come and ask you as a UX designer कि logo का size बड़ा कर दो या
Mm.
थोड़ा सा font size बड़ा कर दो. So
Mm.
that's the biggest myth I want to buzz out here today,
Mm.
because design as a larger umbrella consists of a lot of things, and when you get delve into this, then you will learn a lot of new mode thinking and stuff which you could experiment and understand. So yeah, that's the biggest myth कि logo बड़ा करना होता है,
Mhm.
text बड़ा करना होता है.
I think a lot of people are freelancing right now and they're calling themselves as graphic designers.
Yeah.
So they'll just come to you and they're like, I design and stuff. And they're like, oh, you're a graphic designer. So I think that's what is going on right now. People are freelancing a lot. Even I have my friends who are doing this. So this is something that I know what they're doing.
Right.
Okay. So figure out, okay, yeah. So how can our students figure out if UI UX design is the right career choice for them? Except for the part where, if you like problem solving skills, except from that. And
So, except for problem solving skill, the second thing is the ability to communicate and storytell.
okay.
So, you as a designer, you have to work with a lot of people. So, you have to convey your thoughts out there. So, you
Mm.
have to naturally build that ability to communicate. You have
Mm.
to naturally be an effective storyteller.
Mm.
So, if you this and in a collaborative space, when you are working with so many people, if you are saying your decisions had to stand out, you have to be really a great effective communicator. And
Mm.
communication skills are really core. So what I suggest to kids today is like learn about storytelling, and
Mm.
storytelling, product management, and these things go way beyond and above design. So tomorrow,
Mm.
even if you are not a designer, but you are an effective communicator and a storyteller, you can
Mm.
do great wonders in your career, whatever the career you choose. So building that skill and ability to communicate, articulating, learn to articulate how you want to. And I know a lot of people think, oh, we are introverts, we can't talk and all. So don't limit yourself to
Mm.
boundaries that have been defined. Anybody could be anything. And
Yeah.
you have to just put that effort and take that time and work on it. Eventually, you will get better into it. So I'll say apart from problem solving, critical thinking, I'll say you have to be effective storyteller and a great communicator. If
Mm.
you think you could excel in them, then
Mm.
definitely it's right choice. I'll never say कि if you learn Figma तो तुम designer बन जाओगे. That's not a right thinking or a right way. Today
Mm,
Figma is there. When Figma wasn't even there, we used to design in Photoshop. फिर
mm,
Sketch came.
mm,
फिर Sketch got destroyed. Then XD came. XD got gone. फिर Figma came. So if you just stick with one tool, you'll be there in that tool, and as that tool disappears, you'll also disappear. So it's
yeah.
very much important that you stick with fundamentals rather than sticking with tool, and how effectively you could daily upskill yourself and do better.
Hmm.
You will grow as a designer, and that's for any other field. The more you will learn, the more people you will meet in your fields who are doing great, the more
Mm,
knowledge you will get, and eventually the better doors will open. So that's what I keep telling, ki degrees won't open few doors, that network will open,
mm.
and that
That's
will only happen when you network with right people, when you gain knowledge from those people and
true.
implement that one, which will open to greater doors in your life.
Okay. So I think meeting new people and getting to know what's going on in their mind, that will impact your design. Okay.
Yeah, hearing people's stories and their perspectives
Hmm.
um, will help you. And the reason why I've came today also to talk is, even if today from this conversation, even if one kid tomorrow becomes a designer,
Yeah.
that's like a good hit or success for me.
Hmm.
Nothing else. So yeah, things like that. Like,
That's true. So, this one question that I always have is whenever we are asked that, oh, you have to create this design, people are always focusing on the aesthetics. So, they just want it to be aesthetically pleasing, even if you ask them any questions or even if they are designing. So, is it always like that, or is it just a keyword that is used because they
so yeah, it's actually a very interesting question. So the way how I'll take it is, we as human beings are very visual beings. We get attracted to things which are aesthetic, things which are visually very nice and all. But
Hmm.
that doesn't mean ki you as a designer, your job is to just make things fancy and aesthetic.
Hmm.
So the core understanding, see, being aesthetic is 100% needed to survive in today's market.
Yeah.
Hadn't been Zomato and Swiggy so prettier and easier to use, they
Hmm.
wouldn't have captured a mass of market. There were
True.
many other food delivery apps that came, but they all went into the wind, is because they weren't able to solve the right problem in a right way and also in a very delightful manner.
Yeah.
So aesthetics is a good 40%, I'll say, but the
Hmm.
60% is the experience part, the planning, the way how the layout has to be laid, the way how the micro interactions are there, the way how you are informing user about the decision that they have made. All of those key, which is nothing but the UX, the user experience part. So visual design is also key, and that's why I never separate UI UX as two different things. I say UI is comes under into the larger umbrella of UX itself, because if you build that sort of a mindset, what you will do is you don't just think about experience matter, you'll also think about aesthetics. So you'll also learn the skills to build great aesthetics as well, while working on a great strategy to build a product. And then the third bubble is the business angle. So that's where you'll evolve yourself as a product designer, which is like having an understanding of business knowledge also. How will my design bring revenue or bring new people to use this app? Is also a, see, unless business doesn't run, your designs will still stay in Figma. So it's very much important for you to understand the business knowledge as well, while having a great knowledge on aesthetics and the core fundamentals of design, which will make the experience part really great. So that's what I'll say. So just focusing on aesthetics won't land you anywhere. And that would be like designing one poster on your bedroom wall almost, if it doesn't have an experience angle to it.
Okay. So, like, have you ever designed something that you personally did not like, but it solved the problem, so you just went with it? Do clashes like these also happens?
Yeah, yeah, and this happens, right? And when you work in a environment
Hmm.
anywhere, in any company, these sort of ups and downs keep happening, and that's where you have to understand ki what went wrong and what went good, carry
Hmm.
those things and have a growth mindset and apply them and
Hmm.
repeat it out. So every time, like even with me, whatever 100 designs that I make, 100
Yeah.
of them might have landed really well. Only 10
Hmm.
of them have landed really well. Those 10 which have went to the production are the ones that have went. So there are a
Okay.
lot of constraints that happen. So there's this frustration that I see, since I also mentor a lot of people on ADP list and all. I see this frustration in people that, oh, we've designed something very fancy, but the bare output only went out. But you should
Mm,
also understand that why that bare minimum went. See, you as a designer, you have to fight with your
mm,
product about your decisions, your design thinking, and your with your research and data that you have collected for.
mm,
But you have to also understand that what is the engineering problem, why they weren't able to build this, what's the product problem, why they weren't able to bring this vision that you created out to the real world.
mm,
Having that maturity and understanding is very much needed. You can't
mm,
expect everything that you design to finally land on. There are
mm,
often times where a very bare minimum version will go to test waters or to test market, but at
mm.
least something shipping out is much more important than you are just having long conversations which is nowhere leading and things are still there in your feet.
Okay.
So work collaboratively, having that mindset to understand others thinking
Mm,
and ability is also very much needed as a designer. And that's where I said having that ability to effectively storytell and put forward your decisions and thought process is very much required if you want to
mm.
be a good designer.
Okay. So, can you recommend some courses that people can start exploring right now?
This is actually great. So I say a big no to the Google UX fundamental course because a lot of people have did that and
Mm,
um, so what I say is like IDF is really good, Interaction Design Foundation. It's a pretty long one, but it's been done by Don Norman and foundational fathers of UX design. So many of great people have came together and wrote it. So
mm,
IDF is a good source, first one, and then second, go on to medium.com,
okay.
follow publications like UX Collective, UX Reactor.
Mm,
They rate they write great deal of articles. The Nielsen and Norman Group NN/G, they write brilliant articles on research and breaking down the design fundamentals and everything. You can check that out that space as well. And yeah, like again, I would like to plug in my channel. I run this YouTube channel called Design with Tej, where I interview design folks from different fields of life and different design perspectives. So you can learn their thoughts and hear from them and how to build better portfolios, how to design in the right ways and all. So you
mm,
can binge watch on all those stuff as well. And
mm,
there are great books if you folks are into reading books, then start with um, Everyday Design Things by Don Norman. That's actually a very great book. And there's also Design Systems, Design That Scales, which is a very great design systems book. If you understand on a system level, the
mm.
sooner and the faster you can design using design systems. So yeah, these are a few recommendations I'll say. And once you dig deeper, there's ocean of knowledge that is there in this field. Every day something new or the trends keep coming. And yeah, the
Yeah.
trends you can track it on websites like Behance. It's a great place. You can check out different case studies and all.
Mm,
And also you can check out designers' portfolios from Google, Microsoft, Netflix, and all. They put
yeah.
out great case studies. So read those case studies so that you'll understand how they have seen that problem, broken that problem, and design solution around this problem. So yeah, these are some recommendations you can get started with.
Okay. Thank you. I've actually written them out. Okay. So, if you have to look back, any one mistake that you made, you wish that, the upcoming designers don't make in your starting of your career.
Wow. So the bigger mistake and the reason also I make so much of content and that too for free
Mm,
is that when I started the field, I had very limited resources to study and gain knowledge on. I
mm,
didn't have different platforms to connect with anybody that I wanted, like how it was there today. So I say that was the biggest mistake is like not the right ability to find the right resources at the right time. Uh,
mm,
so I think now with so many technologies and tools,
mm,
um, that's something very easily accessible and could be achieved. The second I think is like I feel every day that I could have utilized my yesterday better than today. Time. So how effectively you can manage time and make wonders with your time is another biggest thing that I keep thinking about. Yeah, these are the two things.
okay. So I am done with my set of the questions. I'll just open the floor again. If anybody wishes to ask any question, though we are on time as well. Anybody who wishes to ask any question, you can I'll just unmute you.
Yeah, one thing I'd say, like before, like anybody types, all of this might sound quite overwhelming for you, but what I suggest is like take the key nuggets, and I hope you guys also provide recording to the students.
Yes, it's
Take
recorded.
your Sunday time, go breakdown by breakdown, take word by word. If you feel something interesting, go search on it on ChatGPT or Perplexity or on Google and
Mm,
understand it even more. For 1 hour, this might be like, oh, too much of knowledge out there for me. But so, what you could do is like this 1 hour itself, you can consume in 3 hours, slowly
mm,
consume it, watch it in zero point 0.5 or 2.5, whatever speeds you want, take notes of everything and
mm.
explore if you are really passionate about it. Yeah. Over to the questions. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
I just received one in my private chat. Um, which app is your favorite app when it comes to design?
Oh, wow.
Nice question.
This is actually a very, very interesting question. So the app that I use on daily basis is like I love to document things and all. So I feel
Mm,
iPhone's camera app is something that is really amazing. The way, the ease of use, the usability, and
mm,
the ability to capture your memories and all. I
yeah.
feel WhatsApp is such app, and the second favorite app I'd say is ChatGPT. The way how the entire AI interaction paradigm they have introduced just by means of conversation. So yeah, these are the two apps that I think are my favorite apps. Quite a nice question.
Mm. And just one last question. Any one uh design code that you live by that keeps you going?
So not a design code, but there's this thing that my coach keeps telling me. I was preparing for my half marathon,
Mm,
uh, which was like, unless you leave the shore, you don't know what's there ahead for you to explore. So it's
mm,
very much important for you to get out of your comfort zone and
mm.
leave your shores and go catch that sail and explore the world beyond the shores.
I think a lot of people are scared to go forward and do
Yes.
something.
Yeah, don't never feel scared about anything in your life. Like if you're doing
Mm,
right things, then you should not be afraid of anything, to be honest. And if you're doing the right things, the universe will itself go and find right people to come into your life to
mm,
help you do that right thing even more better. So, yeah, be in the righteous path and try and explore as many things as you can. And that's the thing that even I feel like I wish AI was there when I was child itself, so that I could have learned so much even more.
yeah.
That today it's very tough to. So you're at the right age, you are at the right time. So if
Mm,
you go into a righteous path, you will definitely do really some wonderful, amazing things.
mm. Okay, I think with no more questions from my end and from the students' end, that
Perfect.
brings us to the end of our journey into the world of UI UX design. A huge thank you to our guest, Ravi Tej, for giving us a real behind the scenes visuals of what being a UI UX designer means like. So, thank you for taking your time. And then I think the main outcome, like the main thing that I learned today was like design is never just about how things look, it's about how they work, how they feel, and like most importantly, how others feel through your design.
Yes.
So I think it was a great session for me as well as a host. Thank you so much for taking out time. It means a lot to me, to the team, and to the students as well. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Tanvi, for being a great host, and thank you, Master Union, for hosting me. And yeah, was very fun to interact with all of you. And if you have any questions or anything, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. And hope to see you guys becoming wonderful designers if you are, or else also no pressure. You can just live the life on your own terms with your own time. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Cool. Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye. Take care. Also, guys, you can just fill in the career fit service form that is there in the chat. I hope today's session was amazing. Um, and just I think the attendance was an issue, but that's okay. Just fill in the career service form. Tell us what you liked. Tell us what you did not like, where we can improve. Bye, guys. Take care.